Life is a journey full of challenges, moments of doubt, and uncertainties. We often find ourselves in situations where hope seems distant and answers to our prayers do not seem to come. Have you ever wondered, is God really acting for me? Is He listening to my prayers? If this doubt has been around your mind, you are not alone. But I have good news. God is about to do a miracle in your life. Believe me, He still operates miracles today, just as He did in the Bible. You may be crossing a spiritual desert, facing a trial, or even feeling that the doors are closed. But God's time is perfect, and He is working behind the scenes. You just need to trust and wait with faith. In this script, let's explore how God can transform your life and how He always has a plan for each of us. Follow me on this journey of faith and find out how you can experience God's transforming power in your life. God is never inactive. He is always in control, even when we cannot see what is happening behind the scenes. Sometimes things may seem difficult, almost impossible, but that's exactly where God enters. He does miracles. When humans say there is no solution, God already has the answer ready. Imagine a scenario where all the paths seem closed and you are about to give up. It is at this moment that God reveals the impossible. He specializes in becoming situations on the contrary, showing His divine providence where there seemed to be hope. Your miracle is closer than you think, and you must believe it, no matter how long the wait or how big the challenge is. God always comes at the right time. His promise is that He will never leave us, will never abandon us. He is working in your favor now, in the details that you may not notice. The key to seeing your miracle happens is faith. Create expectations in the Lord. He does not disappoint those who trust in Him. Your miracle is on your way. Sometimes we can feel like we are alone in our struggles. Pain, whether physical or emotional, can make us think that no one understands what we are going through. But the truth is that God sees and hears you. He knows every tear you pour, every sigh of despair, every silent pain you face. He is completely aware of His struggles. In the Bible, we see numerous stories of people who were in deep suffering. God always cared about each of them. From the woman with blood flow to the widow who lost her son, He was there, listening to their cry and responding in surprising ways. He keeps doing it today. If you are feeling that no one else understands, remember God not only hears, He acts. He may be waiting for the right time to bring the answer you need. Do not feel invisible to Him. You are very important to God. Pain is not the end of history. It is just a part of the transformation process. God is with you and has a purpose through suffering. Your pain does not go unnoticed. He is close to you. Often, reading the Bible, we marvel at the miracles of God in the past: healing, multiplications, resurrections. But you may think that was in Jesus' time or in ancient times. Today, things are different. But the truth is that God is the same yesterday, today, and always. God who opened the Red Sea, which caused the walls of Jericho to fall and healed the sick, is still doing miracles today. He didn't change. He is still Jehovah-Jireh, the God who provides, and Jehovah Rapha, the God who heals. No matter how much you find yourself, it has the power to transform your reality. Perhaps you have doubts, thinking that God has moved away or that miracles no longer happen. But God remains on the throne, and He is willing to act in your life. You just need to believe and wait for Him, for God never fails to fulfill your promises. Never underestimate God's power to do something extraordinary in your life. He is still the God of miracles. Waiting is not easy. When we need something urgently, patience seems to be the last thing we want. But often waiting is not a sign that God said no to our prayer. On the contrary, the wait is often a preparation for something larger. God knows what is best for us, and sometimes He takes us for a time of preparation. He does not give us things before the right time, because He knows we are not ready to receive them. In waiting time, He is shaping us teaching us to trust and strengthen us to what ahead. The wait is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of something grand. It seems difficult to understand this, especially when we are tired of waiting. But remember that God is working while you expect. He is preparing us for the miracle, and when He finally happens, it will be something transformative. Instead of discouraging, use waiting time as an opportunity to grow and strengthen in faith. Your victory is being formed while you wait. Lazarus' story is one of the most impressive in the Bible. Lazarus died and was buried, and his friends and family were devastated. But Jesus said something powerful: "I am the resurrection and life." He went to the tomb of Lazarus and, with a simple word, brought life to those who were dead. You may feel that something in your life is dead: a dream, a relationship, your health, or even your hope. But God specializes in resurrecting what seems impossible. Nothing is really irreversible to Him. God can bring life to any situation, no matter how hopeless. If Lazarus could be risen, you can also be restored. What seemed to be lost and unresolved can be renewed by Jehovah Rapha, the God who heals. It can bring healing, transformation, and even dream restoration so you can live in fullness again. No matter what has died in your life, God can rise. Faith and position are crucial to receive the miracle of God. Faith is the key that opens doors, but the position, that is, the way we approach God, is also essential. The blood-flowing woman knew that by touching Jesus, she would receive her healing. She positioned herself in faith to experience the miracle. Sometimes we want miracles, but we are not positioned correctly to receive them. God hopes that by crying out for something, let us be active in our faith. It is not enough just to pray, it is necessary to believe and take actions that reflect our confidence in Him. If you want to see the miracle happens in your life, change your position. Begin to act in faith, to pray with expectation, and to trust that God will answer. God acts when we are firm in our faith and position ourselves to receive His blessing. The miracle is not distant. You have the key to faith in your hands. Joseph is a perfect example of how God can change his life in a single day. He was sold as a slave by his own brothers, was unjustly arrested, but in a moment God raised him to the top of the nation. One day he passed from prisoner to governor. If you feel like Joseph, going through difficult and unfair times, don't give up, because God can change your life in the same way. It can turn your story into a single day. God has the power to accelerate what seems time-consuming, making the impossible happen quickly. Joseph's journey teaches us that God never ceases to work in our lives, even when we see no results immediately. But at the right time, He puts us in the place He always dreamed of us. Daniel fervently prayed to God, and although the answer was released immediately, the angel of God had to fight against the forces of evil to deliver the message. There are spiritual battles happening behind the scenes. This shows that often when we see no immediate results, it is not because God is not listening, but because there is a process that is beyond our vision. Sometimes the answers we expect are moving, but there are spiritual obstacles that need to be overcome. Don't give up because your answer has already been released. Keep praying, keep believing, because, like Daniel, you will also see God's answer. In a world where we are often confronted with both internal and external limitations, we can be tempted to believe that some problems are simply too big. However, there is no impossibility for God. He is the God of the impossible. When challenges seem bigger than our strength, remember that He can do what we can't imagine. When you are facing a situation that seems insurmountable, think about how God has done extraordinary things. He opened the sea, killed the death, and even made sun stop in the sky for a greater cause. So why would you doubt your power to transform your life? Nothing is too big for Him. Sometimes limitations are in our mind, but God wants to renew our vision. The impossible is not an obstacle to Him. On the contrary, It is an opportunity for Him to reveal His greatness. The true question is not whether God can, but if you believe He can make the impossible happen in your life. The God who has done miracles in ancient times is the same one who acts in His life today. There are no limits to what He can do on His walk. If you feel the wait has been long and tiring, I have good news for you. Your answer is on your way. The waiting period can be one of the most challenging experiences in one's life. It is the moment when anxiety and doubt try to take care, but in fact, God uses the waiting time to strengthen our trust in Him. When God's promises seem distant, it is easy to wonder if He is still working in his life. But the truth is that God does not forget His promises. He is not late. He is preparing everything for the right time. What seems time-consuming for us is perfect for God because He has a larger plan than what we can see now. It seems that the night is darker, but this is only before Aurora's arrival. Your miracle, your answer, your victory is coming, and God is preparing everything for you. Believe me, you will see the fulfillment of the promise. Now is the time to keep your confidence and faith, even when the answer has not yet arrived. What is coming is more great than you can imagine. Job's story is a powerful testimony of how God transforms tragedy into triumph. Job underwent great loss and suffering, but in the end, God restored him with even greater blessings. Sometimes, when we are at the bottom of the well, it is difficult to see how God can restore what was lost. But, as with Job, what God has for us after we pass the test is much greater. It is not only able to restore, but it can bring an increase beyond what we ask or imagine. God sees what no one else can see, and He never leaves you. What seemed to be a defeat may be the platform for your biggest victory. Do not give up before seeing the divine restoration that is underway. God is working on you and around you. He is the God who restores. The best is to come. In the midst of life's challenges, it is easy to lose hope, but the journey you just traveled through these words is a powerful reminder that God never leaves us, and His miracles are within our reach. Faith is the key that unlocks supernatural power, and even when the path seems uncertain, it is working on our behalf with its perfect time and sovereign will. Each prayer, every tear, and every moment of waiting are being used by God to shape, strengthen, and prepare for the greatness He has planned for our lives. Don't give up. Persistence in faith and prayer is a testimony of our trust in God's infallible character. He honors those who believe and persevere, and the answer to their miracle is on its way, even if you do not see the signs yet. The miracle you are waiting is real and possible. God has a specific promise for your life, and He never fails to fulfill it. When you trust His promises, you create a space where it can act supernaturally. Remember, God's time is perfect, and while you wait, He is preparing something great. So keep believing, keep praying, and above all, keep trusting. The miracle is about to happen, and with faith and perseverance, you will see the supernatural manifest in your life. May hope never go out in your heart, for the power of God is available to those who seek it with a sincere heart. God never gives up on you, and your miracle is closer than you think. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now to follow more messages of faith, hope, and inspiration. Do not miss the next videos that will strengthen your walk and open your heart to the miracles of God. Click the subscribe button and enable notifications to not miss any important message. God has great things for you.